Hello, welcome back to my series in Factorio where I'm attempting to build a MegaFactory. My name is Azraelle. Come along with me as we continue our adventure. Alright, the first thing I'm doing over here is setting up an ammunition production area because it's finally time to do something about all these biter attacks that keep coming around. So, just get in, and I want to get two. Speaking of biter attacks, there's a few over there. I really made a mess of my circuit production area. Go ahead and get all that fixed up. Yeah, it's really time to do something about these nuisances. So I went ahead and set up two assembly plants for the ammunition because one is never enough. The good old American way of doing things. Why build one when you can have two for twice the price? A little quote from the movie Contact there. Fixing up all these little random bits, getting everything working the way it was before. There it goes. And there's some research. Gonna go ahead and get some red circuit knowledge going. And it's time to bring the copper plate over to my ammunition factory. There might be a more efficient way of setting things up, but I really don't care at the moment. So there's my output boxes. Get everything powered up, and there it goes. Alright, and speaking of defenses, get a couple more turrets built up over there. In the meantime, I noticed that my power is a little bit low. Oh, and we're also going to go and check out my my stone brick facility because it's run out of coal. I'm going to go ahead and set up a box there, put my wood in there. I might regret that a little bit later on because I need that wood to build power lines. But maybe it's time I start using the steel poles instead of the wooden ones. I don't know. We'll see as time goes on. I'm going to build up a few more mining drills and bring those down into my copper area. There's a perfect fit for it right there. Alright, checking out my ammunition stores. Everything looks good. Build up the boilers, and I don't have enough iron plates. It seems to be the plaguing problem. There's more research going. Time to get some batteries. We're in preparation for blue science. So I want to get all that taken care of. Head up here to steal a few more iron plates from everything else that's just not using as many at the moment. Get everything prepared for making a new set of steam engines. Get that balanced out. And then there's another biter attack up on the other end of my factory, so it's going to take me a while to get there. Stop off at my ammunition stores. And they destroyed one of my turrets. There's a couple of stragglers coming by there. And let's see here. It just might be time. I'll take care of that in a little bit. In the meantime, I want to finish what I was doing down here in the southern end of the factory, building up another line of steam engines. Before I forget, because I do tend to forget these things every once in a while. And once again, using burner inserters just so that they can continue working even in the event of a catastrophic power failure. And due to setting up some infrastructure there earlier, everything just starts working as soon as I plump it down. And that takes care of our power issues for the moment. As far as defense goes, I'm going to make sure that they don't attack this oil refiner. This is the 0.13 update, just so you're aware. And it's a wonderful update. I'm absolutely loving everything that they've added to this thing. Go ahead and get some more ammunition. But one thing I've noticed is that they seem, I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems like biters have gotten a little more aggressive. Because I did a test run of this factory earlier just to see if the 0.13 update broke anything. Unfortunately, it did not. But during that playtest, the biters were just attacking everything. So I want to make sure that they're not going to destroy my factory while my back is turned. So we're going to for the nest here in the north. This has sort of been the problem area. You'll remember a couple episodes back where I made a foolhardy attempt with non-armor piercing ammunition. What a waste of time that was. This time we're a little bit better prepared, taking my shotgun in here to preserve the armor piercing ammo. And the double turret line seems to be taking care of all the attackers pretty easily. There's some more research. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do. They've also added a new thing where you can fill in water with grass area, calling it a landfill. Which is absolutely brilliant idea. I'm so glad they added that. Previously you could do that with mods, but I don't want to be using mods for my MegaFactory. I want to do this in the vanilla. Not that I have anything against mods. I'll probably end up installing a bunch of them later on. But it just feels like more of a pure experience doing it without mods. There we go. We've already taken out the base to the north. And I'm going to go ahead and wall this thing up a little bit. I don't have enough wall sections to completely close it in, but it shouldn't be necessary at this point. I say shouldn't, but you never know. During that play run, or the testing run I should call it, they did destroy that radar base with extreme prejudice. So hopefully that won't be the case this time. Go ahead and take out a straggler spawner over there, and then I'm going to take out... Oh, that's another thing that they've added in the 0.13 update. You can mine those large rocks. So I remember in the last episode I was complaining about those big useless things always being in my way, so now they're not so useless. I can just mine them. I don't have to shoot them and waste all those resources. So that's a wonderful way of adding to that. We're going to go ahead and do another turret creep on this base to the west, because that's another problem area. They've been attacking my circuit production. So just take the fight out to them for the moment. And you'll also see another thing that they added in 0.13 is that when you're going to place a turret, or just mousing over it, you see that green circle represents its range, which is just absolutely amazing. I absolutely love being able to see that, because it tells me if it's going to be able to attack those worms over there. And those small worms seem to have the same range as the turrets, so if I can shoot them, they can shoot me. So it's a great way to gauge if I'm in their attack range or not. I'm just finishing up the last couple of spawners here. And there we go. Pick up all those alien artifacts. Those will come in very handy later on. Head back into the base and see what else needs to be done. I've actually kind of forgotten what I do next, even though I just watched this video in playback. I'm going to go pick up some more ammunition and set up some more defenses, because you never know, they could come in from the east. Alright, and I've noticed that my furnace area it's just not as efficient of a layout as it should be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redesign this area. First I'm going to get this coal line that's feeding the steel smelting and plastic production out of my way. There you can see I'm just connecting it back up over there. I'm going to end up with a lot of coal in my inventory, but I don't really mind. There's a couple more biters coming from another nest to the northwest. Nothing too serious. I'll go ahead and take care of them a little later on. In the meantime, I just want to get this done before I forget and move on to something else, because I am prone to do that every now and then. Just kind of figuring out the best way to do this, and the best way to do this, as far as I could tell, is to take this left-hand side of furnaces and move them over to the right, so that I can have two belts of ore and coal feeding them out onto one output belt, which should increase my my input while not affecting the output capacity whatsoever, because the output as it is now, you can see over on the copper side of things, because it was an exact duplicate, that I'm only using one lane of the output belt on each side, and then those get merged together later on with the splitter. So it was a single lane of ore coming in to a full belt output. Now I have two lanes worth of input going out onto a full belt of output. So ideally, this should improve my my throughput. And right now, it's just, I know there was a lot of backup there, but look at that output belt there. It's almost solid. That'll really help out with some of those areas of the base that have been lacking in iron plate. Upgrade all those inserters to the fast inserters. Yeah, there you can see the excess is wearing out, and it actually looks like I have just about the same number of furnaces working as I did before. So I have to wonder if that even did anything at all. But at this point, I know that there's room for improvement as far as my mining capacity goes. So I'm going to go over here and fix that right now. Those are almost out of ammunition. This is another hotbed of biter attacks. Get all these things hooked up. So that should be 8 more mining drills feeding into my production area. That should be good. I gotta move my defenses to be a little more central. And with that green circle, I can see that they'll still cover the entire mining facility, so that'll be good. I'm gonna go pick up some more stone bricks, because I'll probably need to be making some more steel furnaces later on, so I can be a little more efficient. Mine some of those big rocks out of the way. I love that new ability. And yeah, it hasn't reached the furnace area yet. There it goes. That should really help on the output. Yeah, there it goes. You can see a couple more of those things lighting up. So that should be good. What I'm going to do next, it's just about time to get some red circuit production going. First I'm going to upgrade all of these assemblers to blue level 2 assemblers. Not that they're really doing a whole lot right now, but everything helps in the future. Get myself a couple more belts, a couple of underground belts. I should be good on splitters at the moment. I've got, like, I can't read that from right here, but it's enough. I'm just going to do some spacing out here for the green circuit, because eventually I'm going to have that going on both sides of the output belt. Just getting those measurements solidified. Oh, there's some more research. Time to start solar panels. You can see the research button was off the screen there. It's another bug that'll probably get fixed here fairly soon. Another wave of biters coming in, and they're coming in from the northwest. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that right now before I set up my red circuits. And you can see it's just a single spawner up here. A little hard to see because it's nighttime. And there's another single spawner just a little bit farther north. I'm going to take care of that as well. That ought to clear up some of those attacks. And I'm going to head back down into my base now. Yeah, the 0.13 update has really changed a lot of things, especially when it comes to train networks. I haven't quite gotten around to building any of those yet in my MegaFactory, but it will inevitably happen. You just can't have a MegaFactory without an extensive rail line bringing in all that ore. So it'll really help out there. Okay, I'm getting everything spaced out here. One thing I've learned about red circuit production is that a single copper cable assembler can feed up to 8 red circuit assemblers. Right here I'm just going to set up 4 just to get it going. Set up my output lines there. And okay, the next thing I'm going to do is bring in that copper ore from my main bus. There's another attack over in the iron mining facility. Nothing major, no damage, so everything's fine. Okay, they got that in there. Now we need green circuits and plastic. Fortunately, I've got green circuits right here. Going to go ahead and feed that off of the main bus. Have that coming in on one side. And I've already set up a plastic production area in the previous episode, so I'm just going to bring that over past the main bus and into my red circuit production facility. I realize this is just a little wonky. It just kind of gets in the way of everything. Gonna have to move some of those power lines out of the way. Eventually I'll probably upgrade those to those giant, what do you call them, pylons that have the extensive reach. But for now this is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up to, yeah, I'm just gonna move that over by one. It's always good to have a space of 2 units between your buses. That way it gives you enough room to do all those underground and splitters and all that kind of stuff. Alright, here we go, setting up the power. Connect that in, and look at everything go. There goes all the copper cables feeding down there, and it's actually producing twice as many as the current amount. I'll go ahead and get that fixed up later. In the meantime, I'm going to bring all these red circuits over onto the main bus, because this is one of the other things that I'd like to have available for the rest of the facility. Eventually I will also have a blue circuit production area. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to have that here in the same area or somewhere else in the base, because that also does need sulfuric acid. I'll eventually have that added to the bus lines. And I've already run out of belts, so I'm going to go ahead and steal some off of there, because it's not going to need anything farther south of that. I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate everything there. And once again, I'm out of iron plates. Really need to do something about all that. Eventually I'd like to have a personal supply chest. So, but for right now I don't feel that I can really spare the iron plates, because everything else in the base needs them as well. So eventually when I finally get that all robust enough to have iron plates left over, I'll go ahead and set up a personal supply chest then. I've got a bunch of filter inserters. Those are a new type of inserter for 0.13 as well. They take the place of smart inserters before, where you can specify only certain items for them to take off of a belt or a chest or whatever. Now every kind of inserter can be hooked up to the circuit network. So there was really no need to have one set aside specifically to do that. Okay, I'm back over here in the iron mining facility. I'm just going to go ahead and first of all fix up some of these bottlenecks that are inherent. Oh, hey, I can get the electric furnaces going. That'll be nice. Alright, fixing up those bottlenecks there. Look at that. It's almost a solid yellow belt of ore. That's a beautiful sight. I know it won't last forever, because that was just the backfill making its way. So there's another 8 mining drills. That ought to keep it going fairly well. Here you can see there's the gap that I had before, and now that solid line is filling up into all the furnaces. And look at that, it's reaching the very top with room to spare. Now, once again, that's just the backfill, not the steady stream. But hopefully, the steady stream will also balance out into more of those furnaces, so we can have more of an output. Cleaning up some of the infrastructure that was left behind, and I'm also going to do the same thing over here to my my copper furnace area as well. Just because, you know, I like to have everything symmetrical, and you know, it's that OCD that I've talked about so many times in the past. And since I've already done it on the iron side, there's enough room on it for the copper side. Go ahead and get all the infrastructure set up there. Pick up all those power poles, because I am out of those. as well as conserving on my belts. And I'm not going to make the same mistake over here as I did last time. I'm going to set up these power poles properly. That should cover it, and then I just split off from what's already there. And that all feeds up and starts working. Beautiful. And there it goes, reaching the end. Alright, it is the end of the episode. I want to thank you for taking the time out to follow me on this venture. My name is Azraelle, and never stop building.